Okay, fifth graders, I'm going to do this video here before I lose my voice because after I start talking a lot, I think it's probably going to go. I just hope it lasts all day, but I'm having some nice warm coffee to help me survive. Okay, so let's see here. We're in 3-4. And it says write the place value of the underlying digit. Round each number to the place of the underlying digit. So there's two things we're doing with each one. What's the place value of the 7? Well, it's tenths. And then it says to round. Now, if you remember rounding, you look at the number that you're rounding and the number that's just to the right of it. And if it's 5 or greater, then you would round it up. And so 8 is 5 or greater, so you would round it to this 0.7 become 0.8. Let's do another one of these here. How about this one here? What's the underlined digit here? It's the tenths place. Okay, and the number just to the right of it is 8. Okay, and is that 5 or greater? Yes, it is. So then this would round to the 1. 0.1 would round to 0.2. How about this one? What place is the 0 here? Okay, it's not the tenths, it's the hundredths. Okay, and do we round it? If it's less than, if the number just to the right of it, which is the 6, if it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, stays the same. If it's 5 or larger, it rounds up. So the 6 is 5 or larger, so the 0 would round to a 0.1. Okay. Oh, actually, I wouldn't write it as a 0.1. I would write it as a 0.5 and then the 1. Okay. All right, let's see here. Name the place value to which each number was rounded. Okay, so this number 0.546 became 0.55. What did they round? Well, they rounded the 4 to a 5, and they dropped the 6. So what place is the 4? That's in the hundreds. All right. But this one here, number 11. So 7.709 was rounded to an 8. Well, they're rounding the ones place here. Okay, they're rounding this one because this is 5 or larger. That becomes an 8. So that would be the ones place. All right. Round 7.954 to the place named. So you're using this number in all 3 of these. And just like in this one here, you're going to use this number for all 3 of these, and then you round that number to that place. So for number 17, for example, 18.194, where's the hundredths place? Well, the hundredths place is the 0.19, the 9 there. So we need to round that place. So that would become, is that 4? Remember, then when you round, is this 4, 5 or larger? No, it's not. So in this case, it would stay the same. So it would be 18.19. The 9 wouldn't change because the number just to the right of 9 is not 5 or larger. So the 9 would stay the same. So that's rounding it to the hundredths place, which is where the 9 is. Okay? Let's see here. The population density of Montana is 6.8 .699 people per square mile. What is the population density per square mile of Montana, rounded to the nearest whole number? Now, the nearest whole number, that's the ones place. That'd be in the ones place right there. Well, that's kind of easy. So what would that be? The six here, the number just to the right of the number that we're rounding, is 5 or larger, so this becomes a 7. So the question is, what is the population per density square mile of Montana rounded to the nearest whole number? So it'd be 7. Make sure you write this down, people, per square mile. All right. Let's see here. Next page over. As I take another sip of coffee. Should probably pull a stick for one of these here. Let's see here. Miss Airy buys and sells diamonds. She has a diamond that weighs 1.825 carats. What is the weight of her diamond rounded to the nearest hundredth? Well, where's the hundredth placed? Remember, if you guys should know these by now. This is the tens, ones, tenths. That is like 1/10. This is 1/100th, and this is the 1 over 1,000 or thousandths place. Okay. To the nearest hundredth place, so right to here. So it's this digit here. So that would be what? The 2. So what would the 2 be rounded to? Anything would it change? Well, what's the number just to the right of it? It's 5. Is it 5 or larger? Yes, it is. So it'd be 1.8, and then it'd be 3. All right. And actually, you should put carats. All right. Let's see here. What? Write a decimal that is 1/10 of 0.9. Now, don't make that harder than it is. So this is going to be smaller because it says write a decimal that is 1/10 of 0.9. Well, 1/10 of 0.9 would be simply moving the 9 over to the right one place. Okay, so 1/10 of 1/9 would be 0.09. I just moved the 9 over. Just moved it over one place. If you might see a question that says, what is, or write a decimal that is 10 times 0.9. Well, what would that be? 10 times 0.9. Well, that would be just simply 9, because you just moved the decimal over one place. All right? And so 1/10 of 0.9, what we moved the decimal again, but we moved it the opposite direction, and that would be 0.09, as I said a moment ago. So whenever you see write a decimal that is 1/10 of something, you know it's going to be smaller, and whenever you move the decimal to the right, it's getting smaller. If it's times 10, then you're going to move the decimal one place to the left. Okay. If it was times 100, it'd be 2 places to the left. If it was times 1,000, it'd be 3 places to the left. All right. Okay, 3-5. Oh, we remember doing these. Let's see here. So it says draw a quick picture. Add and draw a quick picture. Well, I'm just happy if you do a picture of the answer. And as a reminder, just to you guys, so like this first one here, it was 0.5, so it'd be 5 lines, plus 0.6, which would be 6 lines. And you know that 10 lines is equivalent to a square, which is the same thing as a whole 1. All right? And if I could, you know what, let me, if I did this, if I wrote 1 is equal to a square, 0.1 is equal to a line, and 0.01 was equal to a dot. I think you might guys remember doing that. So what do we got here? We got 0.15, so it'd be, well, let's just do this. I think I just wanted the answer. That's what I said. So let's just do 0.15. We're adding 0.36. That's 11, carry the 1, so that's 5. Okay, 0.51. So 0.51. And draw a picture of that. So that would be 5 lines and then a dot. Okay? The dot represents the hundredths place, and the 5 represents the tenths place. How about number 3, 0.7 or 0.8 and 0.7, 0.8 and 0.7. Add those together. That's going to be 1.1. Oh, my brain's not working. 1.5. All right. So, what represents the ones? Come over here. A box does. What represents the tenths place? It's these lines. So it'd be 3, 4, 5. Right? I think you guys remember how to do those. I still haven't pulled a stick yet. I got to do that here. Number 10. Everybody do that one. Draco bought 0.6 pounds of bananas and 0.9 pounds of grapes at the farmer's market. What's the total weight of the fruit? That's too easy. Let's add in something else. And then he also bought 0.36 of bananas, grapes. How about strawberries? All right, so total up all three, 0.6, 0.9, and 0.36. And we'll pull a stick and see if you got it right. What do we got here? Miss Nye, you're up. 20 points if you get it right. 0.6, 0.9, and 0.36. Okay, 0 and 0 is 6. That'd be 15, 18. 1.86. 1.86 is the right answer. Okay, that's because I added in this. All right, so if you got it right, you can have 20 points. Next page. How are we doing on time here? 13 minutes. That's not too bad. All right. What is the sum of 2.5 and 1.9? Well, sum is adding. Okay, if they said what is the difference, then you'd subtract. All right. You guys can do these. Jody walks 35 minutes a day. If she walks for 240 days, how many minutes altogether did she walk? Oh, well, this is easy. Look. If she walks 35 minutes in one day, how many minutes does she walk in 2 days? Well, 35 minutes. In 2 days, it'd be 35 times 2, right? 35 minutes times 2, right? 35 and 35 is 70. So 70 minutes. Excuse me. If she did it in 3 days, it'd be 35 minutes times 3. If she did it in 10 days, my voice is going. It'd be 5 minutes times 10. But it's not 2, 3, 10. It's 240 days. So it's 35 times 240. Do it. Pull a stick. Mr. Malamed, you're up. I'll give you 10 seconds. Hurry up. Oh my gosh. That helps. All right. You should have written down 8,400 minutes. All right. If you got it right, you got 20 points. This is easy stuff, man. This is all review. Okay, 3-6. Let's do it. Draw a picture. I'm not worried about a silly picture anymore. Just add these up. I just want the answers. Another stick. Mr. Montanez, do number 3 right now. And you got 10 seconds. No pressure. No pressure. I think it's been about 10 seconds, pretty darn close. So, Mr. Montanez, 20 points if you got it right. You should have 0.41. This is 0.92, and you're adding. Oh, no, we're subtracting. Gosh, I missed that. We're subtracting. I wonder if you did the same thing I was about to do. 0.51, and you should get 0.41, right? So, yeah, subtracting. Looks like all these in 3-6 are subtracting. Okay, so that means the difference. So 20 points if you got that right, Mr. Montanez. All right. Backside of 3-6. Let's do one of these. How about number 4 here? It says how many zeros are in the product. Now, when we talk about product, we mean multiplication. If I said, what's the product of 2 and 3? That'd be 2 times 3. Well, the product would be 6. So since it's all multiplication, how many zeros are in the product? Oh, and look at this. We're using an exponent right here. Exponent of 3. You know that 10 with an exponent of 1 is just 10. 10 with an exponent of 2 is what? 10 times 10. That's 100. 10 with an exponent of 3, what's that? 1,000. Because that's 10 times 10 times 10. Okay? So remember, this 10 times 3, 10 to the third power, rather, that's 1,000. So, excuse me, what's 6 times 5? Do what's in parentheses first. That's 30. 30 times what? 1,000. So what's 30 times 1,000? We'll add 3 zeros. It would be 30,000. And the question is, how many zeros are there? 1, 2, 3, 4. So instead of putting 30,000 like I did there, you probably should put 4 zeros. All right? Okay. Gosh, this is easy stuff. All right, have at it. And we'll go from there.